and get your EPA certified wood or pellet fueled device registered before the next season begins. From the Valley Air District, this is your Healthy Air Living Report. Incentives are still available for Valley residents to receive $1,000 and low-income residents to receive $2,500 to upgrade from open hearth fireplaces and older non-certified wood stoves and inserts to new EPA certified devices, and an additional $500 when upgrading to a natural gas device. And registering your clean burning wood or pellet stove or insert with the Valley Air District allows you to burn more frequently during winter months while still reducing pollution. Visit valleyair.org and find out more about the Burn Cleaner program and how to register your EPA certified wood or pellet burning heater. This has been your Healthy Air Living Report from the Valley Air District.
KXVS on 92.1. Coming soon.
Hi, this is Joy Neas with Behind the Art Scene on KXVS, the voice of Stockton. And today my guest is Manuel Camacho, and he's a professor over at Delta College. He's a playwright, and he has been acting with Tosco. It's Telling Our Authentic Stories Theater Company. And welcome, Manuel.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to ask, the first play that Tosco ended up doing was your play. So how did that come about?
You mean how?
How did you end up? You wrote the play, and Donna Marie decided to put that all together for the first play.
Yeah, Donna Marie was my student a number of years ago, and she was in my class, and I used to share my stories with my students, and she remembers a lot of those stories, I think. So she asked me if I wanted to be on the board of Tosco when she founded Tosco, and I said yeah. And then she asked me if I could write a play about some of my experiences coming across the border. So I said okay, fine. I have never written a play. I write short stories, but I have never attempted a play. So it was a challenge, but it was really fun to do. Mm-hmm. Because bringing the play to a stage, it's completely different. You write it, but then you discover that you need to modify it and add maybe things. So that's how it came about. Mm-hmm. And so the play is not really it's one of many millions of stories of people coming across the border. Mm-hmm. But I decided that to focus on the humorous aspect of coming across the border rather than the tragic stories, which there's many of those. Mm-hmm. But so there's really nothing tragic about it, even though there's things that happen to people that are tragic.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's how it came about, and it was quite successful. We had packed presentations, so it was really fun. So we're trying to present it again.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll get a place to do it soon.
So how many people do you think went to the performances? It was over at the church.
At the church.
How many people?
I think each presentation was packed. Especially the last one. It was on a Sunday, and there was a standing room only. Mm-hmm. So I figure it was about 50 to 60 people each presentation. We did it 3 times, I think.
Oh, you must have had more than
Or
50
two,
or
two weekends. Yeah.
you probably had 100,
60,
150. Oh, we need to find out how many people that holds. Did you guys get like a?
I remember being packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did everyone sign the guest book or?
Probably not. But yeah.
So
Yeah.
where do you think would be a good place to hold the next performance?
Well, based on that, on those presentations, maybe a little larger room
All right.
might be good. But at this point, any place would be okay, even if we have smaller crowds. But
Yeah, it's always a challenge finding places to rehearse, to perform, to on and on.
yeah, so the place we have now, it's quite small
Yeah.
for that kind of play. But if we don't find a bigger place, we'll just do it there and figure it out.
One of my very favorite parts of that was the music
Yeah.
that you had in the play, and your son.
My son.
He played the music.
He did. I wrote a song that when I gave it to him, I said, "Put music to this song," and he says, "Well, this is not a song." And I said, "Well, it is a song to me." He says, "No, it's not a song. It needs syllables." Well, I have no idea what that is, but go ahead and add syllables. So he did. So he plays music, so he did it, and then he just came up with the arrangements.
Wow.
Yeah, and then one of the songs I sort of had this tune in my head, and then he changed it, and he said, that's kind of like a bluesy song, and I go, okay. So he made it into a bluesy song, and that's how the song came about. Yeah, but all the other arrangements he made.
So you guys could record or have all those on a little CD or something?
No,
or?
it was a. Oh, you mean after the play?
Yeah, now. Yeah.
We didn't do that.
You could.
Yeah.
You could have them play all those and make a little CD. I'd love that music.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
But you can.
Yeah,
that would be.
That's right. That's what we're gonna do.
That would be a good fundraiser for Tosco.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
That's something that people can have a memory,
Right.
a lasting memory of.
Wow, what a great idea! I didn't think of it.
There we go. All right. Yeah. The other part I really liked, like in between scenes, and you had a lot of changing the scenes and they faded to black and whatever. But then your son, he would play kind of a music, and it would set the mood. It was wonderful. It was brilliant. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
you know what he did was he also did the sound effects on the car scene where we opened the door and
there we go.
and all that stuff. He did the sound effects because we were trying to do it ourselves, and it wasn't really working. We weren't very coordinated, and then he started doing the sound effects because he had the microphone, and that was really funny. So we went with it, and that was pretty cool. Yeah.
And that would be good for radio when we when we get our tower up. But he could come and do all the sound effects.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
Maybe you guys could do scenes from the play here or something.
Yeah. He just did it with his voice, nothing else.
Yeah, and
cool.
and you guys could sing some of the songs.
Sure. Yeah.
So what are you working on now?
Right now, I'm gonna add something to the play, to the Across the Border. I'm gonna add something. about taxes. There is something called the suspense file, which is about people who use fake Social Security numbers and who file income taxes at the end of the year, and that money, it's not what you pay into Social Security with a fake number. The IRS takes that money, and the person who files that under that number will never get it back at the end. If they retire, they'll never get it back. So the IRS takes that money and puts it in a suspense file. So that's so I was reading this. There's an article in the New York Times that talks about that, and then there are other articles that talk about the suspense file. So I'm gonna add that to the play, and then I'm working on another play about the cemetery reselling plots. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Yeah, and I don't know if it happens all over the place, but that's what I'm working on. Reselling plots.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't able to go to the performances you had at Delta College. Are you going to have more at Delta College? Or
well, at Delta College we did Las Dos Caras del Patroncito.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah, I saw it when they had the fundraiser at Susan Carson's house.
Yeah, that one. We did that one at Delta College. Yeah. And then Tosco did, I think, what was the name of the play? It's about a mother and a father that are worried about their son.
Herbert the Third.
Herbert the Third, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so Tosco did it at Delta. And then...
Where was that? Was it outside or inside?
I think it was in the little studio, studio theater in the Holt building. I forgot the name of the... but it was inside, yeah.
Is that the Al Muller?
I think so, the little one.
Okay, I haven't been to that.
No? Oh, no. It's really nice. It's a really nice box.
So we have the Tilly Lewis Theater. Is it's above the Tilly Lewis?
No, it's in Holt.
It's Holt.
In the Holt. No, actually, no. No, you're right. It's in Locke. Yeah, so it is above. Yes.
Okay. So how many people does that seat?
That probably holds about. I just want to guess and say maybe 70 people.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the seats are like square kind of.
Oh, really?
And then the stage is.
Oh, in the middle.
In the middle.
Okay.
And in the back, the whole wall is the stage, and then the middle, it's also the stage.
So is it theater in the round, or
it's not round, but it's square.
But it's a round on three sides.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it has about 3 rows of seats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I would say 60 people.
So you guys have to have some more stuff there. I want to go to that theater.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice place. Yeah.
So do you ever think you could do it at Tilly Lewis or some of the bigger?
That would be nice. Yeah, if we can get permission, but it's a process. You have to.
Well, Valacoba, she's had her plays there with Be a Star Youth Theater. They have a program for kids. So she used the Tilly Lewis Theater for her performances.
Yeah, you can use it. You just have to apply to use it. Yeah, we can probably do that. Yeah. So I'll let you know. You'll be the first one to know.
So maybe you could also have some things outside, outdoors.
Yes. Yeah. And that all goes through I think the CAPS program
Oh, uh-huh.
and student services, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can be done during student hour, I think they call it.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, that can be done. So we did Las Dos Caras del Patroncito like that, and we did it during, I think, Cinco de Mayo.
And you did it outside? Where
We
did
did it outside in the little amphitheater.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the new area that they built? Or?
No. The amphitheater has always been there. It's right by the pond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right out there. Yeah.
But so kind of by the library?
Yes. Right across from the library. Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not remembering an amphitheater.
Yeah.
So there's seating there? Or
No, you can sit on the grass.
Oh, okay.
Or on the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has a little stage. It's pretty nice. Yeah. They have bands there and
I have to go back to
other
Delta
activities.
College.
You haven't been there for a while. You
Oh
don't
my
remember.
goodness. That is the most confusing college. Just
And now with the new building, it's more confusing.
yeah.
But then you walk around and you
Sure.
figure it out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you teach Spanish at
Yeah, I
Delta.
teach Spanish for Spanish speakers. So we have two programs: the regular Spanish for students who want to learn how to speak Spanish, and the Spanish speakers program for Spanish who are Spanish speaking, and most of them are bilingual. That means they either were born here and they get their Spanish at home, or they came here when they were kids from Spanish-speaking country, usually from Mexico, or they came here as maybe teenagers or even adults, and so they're Spanish-speaking. So we have that program. And it's very similar to the English program for English speakers.
Mm.
You know how everybody has to take English.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have the two programs, and it's a very nice program. The intention of those two programs is to make sure that the students take the right class. So a lot of students who are Spanish speaking make the mistake of taking Spanish for students who are learning how to speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, they should be in the other program.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
sometimes it's not easy to separate them, but that's the purpose of the program.
Would counselors, do they help the students direct them to the right classes? Or?
They do once the students make an appointment with a counselor, yes.
Right.
But usually the students just take class, and so they end up being in the wrong class.
Mm.
So by the time you find out, it's sometimes difficult to, bring him,
Right.
switch him. But
So maybe you could put that in the course description. Or?
well, it is written there. What would be nice was to, when they register, it would be nice to have some kind of a question that the students can answer. It could be like a yes/no question. For example, it could be, "Do you speak Spanish?"
Right.
And if they say yes, then you should. If you want to take Spanish, you should take this program instead of this. So we don't have anything like that.
Mm.
So that would be nice if we can get that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
So have you guys thought that maybe you guys could have a play in Spanish? Or?
I didn't write it in Spanish, but we could actually do that. But since it is across the border,
Right.
it has to have English.
Yeah. Okay. There we
So
go.
it has to be a bilingual.
Have
play.
both.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know the perfect place that you should be having this is at the Mexican Heritage Center.
That's right. That's
That
right.
would,
That's
that would be
true.
wonderful.
That's true. We have to look into that, and you know, one of the things about the play is the when people think that people on this side of the border might not speak Spanish at all, and then you discover that they actually Spanish speakers, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of the shock part that you just think they don't, and they do. Yeah.
So, that would be an excellent place. It's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. And they have a really large room you guys could have it in. You should talk to Gracie Madrid. She's the head of the Mexican Heritage Center. So.
And, you know, now that you mentioned that, I think we're having... I think you forgot to mention, and I forgot to mention, that I write for Joaquin magazine.
Oh, okay.
And that's where my short stories and my poems are published every month. And that magazine is a bilingual magazine, so everything that is written in one language is translated into the other. And I think we're having an event at the Mexican American Heritage Center very soon.
Really? Okay.
And I think we're going to be included with the symphony.
Oh.
The Stockton Symphony.
Oh.
I'm not sure about the details, but...
Okay, we need to find that out.
We need to find that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know Richard Rios' son.
Richard Rios is a contributor
Yes.
to Joaquin magazine.
And he's one of the founders of the Mexican Heritage Center, and he used to be a professor at Delta College.
And in fact, he came... I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, he came to my class and talked to my students about writing.
Oh, good.
So he's been coming to my classes to talk about his book, his stories, his work in the magazine, and motivate the students about education and writing and stuff like that. Yeah, so he was there.
He's one of the best storytellers I've ever heard. And before I moved to Stockton, I didn't even know what storytelling was all about. And so many. There's Rudy Garcia. He was a teacher at Franklin High School. And he's one of the founders of the Mexican Heritage Center, but he's another wonderful storyteller. So they have some exceptional people over there. You said that there's a storytelling event coming up?
We hope to get it off the ground. Tosco is trying to put a storytelling show together. And so you mentioned a few dates that
you gotta change the dates.
Change the dates. So
it could be during Stockton Arts Week.
That would be very nice. So we thought about having it on the 26th of October, but now since you mentioned that Visit Stockton has an event,
right?
So we might change it to the 19th, Thursday. The 19th.
So what all would happen during the storytelling?
We are thinking about just having storytellers tell a story that is 7.5 minutes or less.
Okay.
And if you know any storytellers that would like to tell a story. Yeah, we can.
So how many people would you like to have? Or
we're thinking that maybe about an hour would be all right. If we go over the hour, that's fine, or less than an hour, also fine. So
it's basically people telling stories and then the audience listening to the stories.
Yes.
Would there be any? Maybe you could do like a little writing portion, or make your own story, or
no, not for this one. No, this one is just telling stories, people listening.
Okay.
And if you some storytellers use music in the background or something, that's fine. But yeah, that's just straight storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah, or
Okay.
oral storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No writing involved, nothing.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're a storyteller, go ahead.
Okay.
Come and join us and tell a story.
I could tell a whole story. Yes.
Oh, 7.5 minutes or
Yes,
less.
yes.
Yeah.
When I think about, I think everyone has stories from their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things, pivotal moments that kind of make up a person's life. So I just find myself kind of telling the same stories over and over again.
Is that right?
You know, the story of how my parents got together, and then when like my dad, when my mom was pregnant, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna paint the room pink," and they didn't know if it was going to be a girl or a boy or whatever. And there I came. So he knew it was a girl. And then he said, "Okay, now I'm going to paint the room blue." And then my brother came. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So some of my family stories,
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think of a story more of not just family stories, but stories that are created.
Oh,
That have the fantasy.
yeah, so like a fictional
aspect,
thing.
a fictional, but a personal story. It's fine.
Yeah.
So all kinds of stories are okay. So if you have told a story before to an audience, we want you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think we're looking for that kind of a storyteller. And so hopefully we'll get it off the ground and get storytellers that I know they're out there.
Yeah.
When I first came to Stockton, there was Storytellers Guild.
Really?
And yes, and the president of the guild was Dana Nichols.
Oh, what,
He used to write for the Record.
where was that? The
Here in
guild.
Stockton.
But where
The
did
guild,
they meet? Or?
We met, first I'll talk about they. They used to get together at the Unitarian Church.
Oh, okay.
Behind the church.
Up the road. Okay.
Yeah, up the road. And then when I came to Stockton, I went to one of their meetings. They used to tell stories and they used to critique each other's story. So when I came, I went to one of their meetings and they asked me if I could tell a story, and I did, but I wasn't up to that point. I wasn't a storyteller. I mean, I had never told a story in front of people. I mean, you talk to people, but not an actual story. So I had written short stories before, and so it was a really nice connection because when I write short stories, I write them to be told more so than be read.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I'm.
Yeah.
I kind of work it out that way,
Uh-huh.
that I can tell it.
What year was did the
that
guild?
was 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So then that that group, Storytellers Guild, there were most of the people who attended the meetings were storytellers, and so you know how they have the literacy day.
Yeah.
So that event, they they were hired to do story.
So Family Day in the Park.
Yeah, and then I remember that I joined the guild, and so we told stories at the literacy event. I think we did it twice or three times, meaning 3 years in a row. And we did one at the Hagen. Okay. We did it in Lodi and in other venues. It was very nice.
Wow.
And then suddenly, Dana decided that he was going to move to San Andreas. And nobody wanted to become the president.
So what year did it end then?
I think it was 3 years later, so it must have been 2006, I think. And so it got disbanded, and that was it. So that's why I know that there are storytellers are out there.
Oh yeah,
because they were able to get together. And it got disbanded, so nobody continued that tradition because so I don't know how to go about forming a guild of storytellers. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I think there's can't remember the name, but it's like the Society of Pen Women. There was a group that was meeting at the Hagen Museum. They were a writing group, so if that could lead to storytelling. Storytelling.
Yeah.
I remember this. I always wanted to go to it. I don't know if they still do it. I grew up over in Richmond, close to El Sobrante by the San Pablo Reservoir, and there's a place called Kennedy Grove. It was a park. And I think every year they had a storytelling, some kind of an event that all these storytellers met and did. So they seem to have that around, the area. If you could kind of, try to contact some of them that they could come over, or some other people from other areas. Or?
Yeah, so we're working on that. And I'm not very good at organizing events, but yeah, they're out there, and guilds, and I know there's a guild in Sacramento, and other places they have their storytellers guilds. We just need to contact them, huh?
Right.
It's that easy.
Well, we do have some stories.
No, you're giving me some ideas.
We have some Richard Rios. He's one of the best storytellers you ever wanted to hear. So, we could start with some of our own Stocktonians, and then we can reach out.
Yes, they're out there.
Do you know Mel Corin?
No.
He's just unbelievable. He's in his 90s now, but he's like one of the pioneer families of Stockton, and just all of it. He tells a lot about historical stories.
Okay,
and so someone like that. He wrote a book all about his life. I think it's I've loved it. I've lived it. Or I've lived it. I've loved it. But he talks all about him coming to Stockton and so he has wonderful stories.
All right.
So I can refer you to a few people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can do that. So the 19th of October. All right. During
Stockton Arts Week.
There you go.
All right, okay. Miguel Guillen, he ends up doing the publicity for Arts Week, and he's on Twitter and oh goodness, with the photos, but he gets the word out, so he can talk it up to everybody.
All right. It's exciting. Yeah.
So I heard that Donna Marie, she she said that Tosco may be moving.
I don't know.
So you haven't heard anything about that?
I haven't. But, we're still kind of nomads when it comes to theater.
Mm-hmm.
We're still nomads. As you know, we had a building, and then that didn't work out.
Right.
So now we're in this building, and if we have to move, we have to move until we get something.
Yeah, what she's done with that building,
is really good.
It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just put all those different, the portable stages, and you can move the stages and create different settings, and it's just wonderful. And I love right next to the building is the parking lot. Yeah. So there could, you guys were out there, I think, for Cinco de Mayo, or you had an outdoor play.
Yes.
That you can do things, in the open air outside.
Yeah. But it's pretty much just her doing most of the work. So that's a problem, because it's just like one person, and then there are people who help a lot, but she's there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's done a great job. But I don't know about moving again.
Yeah. The space is a little small.
Mm-hmm.
I think it probably could be bigger, but I think she was trying to work with some of the students at Delta College. That would be wonderful to get them some practical experience outside of the classroom. They could go, we're going to be a part of this theater company, and really, be hands-on with every aspect. Mm-hmm. The sets, the costumes, the lighting, just all the behind the scenes and the acting, and get a working theater experience, outside of the classroom and in the college setting. I know that Point Richmond. So I grew up by El Sobrante, but it was right by the San Rafael Bridge. There's Point Richmond, and they had this wonderful little community playhouse. It was called the Maskers Playhouse, and I think it only has like 100 seats. And but the group, they kept on. They wanted to buy the building, and every year I'd get the letter. Oh, please donate, please donate. I'm going, oh, geez, okay. and they keep on. I think they probably worked like 20, 25 years. Finally, they sent me the letter. We have bought the building. It was so wonderful, that they just kept on going, didn't give up, and they bought the building.
Wow.
So now they have a wonderful little playhouse right there.
Right. So we need to do something like that.
Yeah, something.
It's kind of like the only way.
Yeah.
Or but all it takes is I don't know, money.
But then just like I went to where I saw you at the Fully Booked.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fundraiser for the Right Place, and that's been a dream of Paula Shields. She's a English professor at Delta College. For years she's wanted to have this thing, and now she's put it all together. She's got found the space over Court Tower. Got all this furniture from Delta College. They brought it over in a moving van. I helped bring the furniture into the right place, and then she found muralists to paint the wall. She has I think there's 3 different beautiful murals now in the building, and she's made just a wonderful space, and she's having students come in, and so just a little bit at a time, and she's never given up on it. So.
Yeah, she's done a great job. Yeah.
So if we could just keep doing
Keep
that
pushing.
with the Tosca, with the theater. I love Susan Carson's event.
That was really, really great.
That was so different. You know, people they just want, new venues, new experiences, and for her to open her house and use all around in the back of the house, the front of the house, all different settings. For plays, 4 little scenes and music and the dance and it was tremendous.
It was great. Yeah,
it was wonderful.
I had a lot of fun that night doing it. Yeah, and seeing the other presentations. That was really great. Yes.
So where do you think would be some other exciting venues to have a play?
I guess anywhere, because when it comes to just performing, I guess you can just do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And just like in the magazine, when we try to promote the magazine to sell it, we have no idea what to do. So we're just writing, and then we turn in the whatever we do, we just turn it in to get published. But then we don't know anything about business and marketing, nothing like that. So with your question, to answer your question is, I have no idea where to go to do it, but you just call me and I'll do it, right? So it's like that. So I have no idea.
So I've been thinking I love being I appreciate art. I go and experience it. So I love, going to other cities and seeing what they are doing in the arts. Then I love also making it and helping other people make it. But one of the experiences, that was just a wonderful experience. And it was theater-based. They had all these events over in San Francisco for the anniversary of the 1906 earthquake. So I think that was in 2006. So it was like 100 years anniversary. And there was this theater group, but what they did, it was like a traveling opera kind of thing. And we met on Market Street, and we went from place to place, and each of the venues, they would stop and do a scene, do some, singing and dancing and a performance scene, but at each of the different venues, and we, like the audience, we followed the performers. So we met, and then they moved on to a new place, and we followed them, and it was just really interesting in a different setting. You always think of theater. You sit there in the chair and you're inside of a box and you watch something. But to have it be kind of outside and in a different scenery, it was really exciting. So
that's a great idea.
I had a few years ago. There was a big grant. It was going to be $100,000, and I think it was the California Arts Council. So it was like a state grant, and they wanted different groups, different artists from cities, to come together and form a proposal and, to give a proposal. We had a group come together from Stockton. We started to do the proposal, and it kind of all fell apart. So we never put in our proposal. But if something like that could, I don't know if those things would come up again. But I was thinking that you could almost have like a historical reenactment kind of thing, a theater experience, like right in downtown, and kind of go around some of the historic buildings. And then you could, talk about like the founding of Stockton, and like when they built the Hotel Stockton, the different places that are there, and have kind of a recreation, and so it would be almost like a little traveling opera, and so you would go from place to place, and people would follow you. So, those are some ideas that I know. Telling Our Authentic Stories Theater Company, it's really based on the stories of people of color and everything, and there are a lot of those stories in the downtown, say with Little Manila. With the Filipino community, with the Chinatown, with Chinese, there was the Japanese were located downtown, and then they were forced out, because of the crosstown freeway, and then there's a whole area. Unfortunately, they tore down historic property for a parking lot, but it. There was a black a guy that I think he had a feed store, and it was close to the corner of Lafayette and San Joaquin. It was just a few doors over from where the poultry market is. Okay. And but he had this beautiful. The building existed till just a few years ago, and then they tore it down. But we could tell some of those stories, of the people that actually, Captain Weber. So he's was German, but all the people all the other groups that came here to help found Stockton. So we have so many diverse groups. I think that would make a wonderful, if someone could put all those stories together.
Yeah. No, but it is possible.
Sure.
Yeah. We just have to get people together to work on a project like that. But yes, it is possible. Yeah, but that's a great idea. Yeah, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of that. Yeah, just like I didn't think of where to put up a play or who to contact for storytelling, stuff like that. I don't think of those things. It's my weakness.
So we all have our strengths, and I think those are the things I enjoy thinking about. So
yeah, that's right.
So I can help you, and you guys can help me, and we all help each other.
Oh, yes, of course.
And so it's bringing everyone together with the right strengths, and we all can work together and make a wonderful thing. So do you have any other plans for? So you were saying those plays that you were writing. Do you have other things other than that, or
other plays,
or other events, other things you guys are planning, or?
Well, the one coming up is the one we're trying to
the storytelling.
The storytelling.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't know.
Okay.
But there's some. There's a calendar that we want to follow, and there's a few presentations that we were discussing to present. But right now is the storytelling.
Right.
If we can do that,
right.
That would be great if we can do that.
Yeah.
But we just need to actually do it.
Right.
And then whatever comes next.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I missed. I've been trying to go to every single one of the Tosco performances, but I missed the Matsumoto, the Sisters Matsumoto.
Oh, all right.
Do you think you guys would do that again? Or?
Yeah, it's on the calendar, and hopefully we'll be able to. It was a reading,
right?
But if could be presented as a play, that'd be cool.
That'd be wonderful.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
And so Elena Mongaha, she was in it?
Yeah, no, she was sitting in the audience.
Oh, I thought she was in it.
I don't remember the names. When you say the names,
Elena.
Well, there was a woman who actually knew one of the sisters.
Oh, okay.
So she was in the audience,
Okay.
and she talked about her experience growing up with, I think, one of the sisters. I don't remember the details, but she was there in the audience, and Donna gave her a flower arrangement as a thank you for coming to talk about that. But she was in the audience, and then I don't know who. All of the names of the actors that read the play, I don't remember all of their names.
Okay.
But the name you mentioned, she might have been one of the ones that read the play.
She's one of the Filipino leaders, and she's done a number of plays.
Okay. Then yes, I think she was there. Yes.
Okay. If I'm remembering that correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they had, I'm forgetting my names, but they had just a wonderful presentation at the Buddhist temple, remembering all the items that when the Japanese, when they went to the different internment camps, and they used the arts to get through this. They relied on, what they could create with wood. They did carvings. They made furniture. Anything that they, drew, because they couldn't take their cameras. Right. So in order for them to, they wanted to remember the scene or whatever, they had to draw it. They put on plays. They did all these different things, and they made all these items, all these art pieces, and they had the Art of Gaman. It's GAMAN, and they had this exhibit over at the Folk Art and Craft Museum in San Francisco.
Wow.
This was years ago. I went to it. It was so wonderful. And then they closed down the Folk Art and Craft Museum after like 30 years of existence. They just shut the doors and closed. And, it was heartbreaking. So, but one of the relocation, the temporary locations, I'm forgetting all the names anyway, but Stockton, we had at the San Joaquin Fairgrounds. That was an area where a lot of Japanese came, and they ended up living almost a year, I think, before they went to their internment camps. And I just thought, if we could go out and somehow, contact these people, probably it would be a lot of the children of the original people that were in the internment camps. But if we could get any of these art items, any of these things that they made, and have a little exhibit, and then you could have that could be in conjunction with the play, with the Sisters Matsumoto. So it's how to make kind of something turn into an event with, multiple components. So
those are great ideas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank Manuel for being my guest today. And
thank you.
Was there anything else that any final thoughts?
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Okay.
It was fun. I got a lot of ideas from you.
I didn't realize about the Storytelling Guild. We should have that. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Tosco could do.
I think so. And
You could just put out she wanted to, if she could just, Donna Marie could just set up a time, say, okay, every, Tuesday at 7 p.m. we're going to have the storytelling group. Come to Tosco and, just see how many people we could get, build it up.
Yeah, we talked about that, having it once a week or once a month or once every 2 months or something like that. So we decided, okay, let's put up an event first.
Sure.
And see what the response is. But of course, it also has to do with getting people together to tell the stories, and then what else? What else did we talk about?
So,
bringing people together.
Yeah, trying to bring people from Stockton, from other places, but
and take it from there.
Yeah, I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, Manuel.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, see you next week on Behind the Art Scene.